The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Sweet podcast is brought to you by The Spin-off, with thanks to Lightbox. You can go there to watch Unreal and see what really happens behind the scenes of a reality romance show. You can also just listen to our podcast right here, right now. We're breaking down The Bachelor NZ. My name's Jane Yee, and joining me in the Fantasy Suite, Duncan Grieve.
Hello.
And Alex Casey.
Hello.
With thanks to Jose, who is recording this for us. Wow. What a week, guys.
Shock horror.
3 straight shockers. Like the top 3 you'd have picked, going into after a few episodes, all gone into consecutive episodes. It's pretty hard out.
Without warning.
The kind of thing you'd want to flag is like a shock. No a shock elimination.
They did tease a great practical joke from Naz. They got me in the promo, but then they revealed what that prank was pretty early on in that episode. So
I quite liked it though.
Oh yeah, it was good.
A good prank.
Excellent television.
Everyone likes a good prank.
Monday nights. Oh, by the way, our hashtag on Twitter is TFS Pod. Please use it. Monday night's episode started with a single date with Kerry.
Oh, Kerry.
It was a very bad day. Can we say the worst single date of the season to date?
Someone on Twitter, I think, said there wasn't any food. Was there food?
There was food. There was food when they went into that giant garage.
But what kind of food? Like a couple of crackers or
it
something?
It looked like mozzarella.
That's, yeah.
Because they kind of pointed, the person on Twitter pointed out that they were driving during the day and then at night time they were in, like the Block Challenge warehouse. Mm-hmm. And what did they do in between?
They just got made over because Kerry got completely soaking wet. But it's basically, this is what happened on the date. They went for a long drive in the rain with the hood down, cold, wet, unpleasant, like something you'd pay to avoid doing. Then went and just hung out in the garage for a bit. That's terrible.
It was a breezy garage. It wasn't even like, it wasn't like
intimate.
It wasn't like, oh, that was awful. Let's go and have buy a fire or something. It
wasn't a man cave.
No.
It almost would have been better if it was even just a really, like an actual mechanics garage, like a proper just dingy, grungy, not someone like a space that they're converting into an apartment sometime in the future.
Yeah,
but
or like in a development.
They've just painted the walls white and that's all they've done.
They just parked some old car and they didn't even make reference. So it's like Jordan likes cars. Well, if Jordan likes cars, then we'll just go hang out in a garage.
I feel like that's too much of his personality. Like, don't you think? I'm like, he's compensating for something because it's every single...
I think he's compensating for how little he works out in slow motion compared to Art Green.
So he's got to have slow driving.
He's got to have slow driving.
We've seen his run.
He does quite a lot of slow walking and thinking.
Slow thinking and slow head scratching.
Hey, so they also mentioned that in this, apparently they got the hood stuck when they were trying to put it up.
We didn't see
that.
We
didn't see that.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like that would have been a fun thing to include.
It was funny because she was like, it was hilarious. And if you actually look at the footage, Kerry is just like, fuck this. Like, I'm just in hell. But you're not laughing.
That's her lasting memory.
Yeah.
Hungry, wet. Like, he left it too long to decide to put the hood up. Right? Like, it was actually pissing with rain. And he was like,
yeah,
I don't think this is going to stop now.
It was hosing down, and they could have pulled over for a long period of time. Also, 60s cars, which Jordan is going to well know, Like, it wasn't like they didn't get like cool, sophisticated mechanisms for putting up hoods until like the 90s. Like that thing will have taken like a half hour to put the hood up. Like what we saw was definitely not all it was. Like it was just, I almost felt like there was like a cruelty to that date. Like, you haven't loved me enough. Here's a terrible date. Then we're going to go hang out in a garage, and I'll make it abundantly clear how little I feel for you, and then off you go.
The only thing is that she did love him enough. She loved him heaps.
Did she?
Well, yeah, I think she was keen.
I think she just didn't want to say, it's all good, I'll just go. Like, just based on her Twitter reaction during the episode and afterwards.
I think that's more to do with she didn't want to be on the TV anymore. Like, her Twitter reaction was like, I'm so glad that my tenure on this show is just about to come to an end because it's embarrassing. But I kind of get the feeling, well, from what, she used to have like quivering lips when she wasn't getting dates, and she was really sad.
But maybe something's happened.
Something feels like there's been a monumental shift.
Feels like something's happened in general, though, right? Like there's been, but what is it? Is it a new producer? Has Jordan had a change of heart?
He's broken bad. He started killing people.
Did he secretly sleep with someone and they all found out?
Naz, maybe. Naz is very happy.
It would be Naz.
Whoa.
No, just because because of their
Sorry.
connection. Because of their connection. Okay. Anyway. Kiri's taller than Jordan. I think that was always a problem for both of them, right? She was like having to wear flats on their dates, and
She had a jibe about Tinder as well, saying like, "Oh, you should have to put your height in Tinder." So I feel like this is like Kiri's. This is a whole new life for Kiri. Good on her.
Good on her. The wet t-shirt competition. Cool. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was funny.
She was like, wet t-shirt competition after they came, jumped back in the car from the rain. He was wearing a white t-shirt. He sort of looks down and goes, yeah, if only you had a t-shirt, and while he was looking at her boobs. Because she wasn't wearing a t-shirt, she was wearing a dress. I just felt that was a bit creepy.
He's always just got to take it a little bit too far. Like, he should have just gone, haha.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, you do it.
They had a very awkward conversation that was beyond.
There was just there's nothing.
There's
nothing between them. It's just two people passing in the street, and they've been around each other for ages, and it's just you can't get a spark.
And then he said something about, do you want to have kids? When do you want to have kids or something? She's like, what the?
Yeah, that
what
was
are you talking about?
Yeah.
That was the best moment of the episode.
Do you know my surname? She just does. And then they made it look like, I think the reporting post her elimination was kind of like, she didn't want to have kids or couldn't commit to having kids or something.
She has no idea who he is.
Yeah.
She's a childcare teacher. She wants to have kids one day. It's just like, that's not where they're at to be talking about it.
Also, I feel like he's real keen to have kids, like seemingly tomorrow.
Do you think he's actually got kids?
Surprise!
That's going to
Like
be
a basement full of kids that
Yeah.
he's sort of found. Maybe that's the revelation that's causing all the trouble. People think that's not right.
It's not right, Duncan, okay? How many times do I have to say? When she came back from her date, everyone was like, they did the lamest thing where they were like, did you kiss? Did you kiss? Did you kiss? Something? And
all at once.
All at once.
It was
Okay.
it was like primary school.
And they had pre-planned it, and it was...
Except they didn't tell, like, Kate, and Kate was outraged. She's like, I didn't get the memo on this hilarious gag.
Oh, my gosh.
So bad. What do we watch?
I think it's just obviously they're just losing it, right? Like, if you're just kept in the house.
Oh, yeah, they
and
lost
you spent
it.
hours
They lost
planning, saying, did you kiss?
They lost it ages ago.
Yeah.
Luckily, on Tuesday night's episode, they discovered the wonders of alcohol, but let's just go off to the zoo in the meantime. Everyone was off on this group date to the zoo.
Yep.
You didn't fancy his zoo man's outfit too much?
No, I thought he looked real. So, like, why would you dress up as an employee of the place you're going to? It's just like, great gag. Here's my great gag. You think I don't work, but I work. No, Jordan. Yeah.
But every time he goes to the beach, he wears boardies and a singlet, like the employee of the beach.
That's good. I once went to the warehouse. I mean, I used to work
You
at
used
the
to
warehouse.
work at the warehouse.
But I went back to that warehouse like a few years later wearing a red polo, and let me tell you, it is no picnic to be dressed as an employee. of a workplace. Like, you get asked where the toasters are a lot. So I can only hope that happened to Jordan a lot, you know?
Well, it's just that he was working, though. This is what we're forgetting. Like, he's been doing some shifts. Like,
Yeah.
he has to wear it. It's part of the job.
Well, that's how they're paying for this thing. It's just Jordan's out.
This was a real human interest date for me. Those little animals.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh,
This is.
so
Have you
good.
guys been to Australia Zoo?
No.
It is wonderful because it's Steve Irwin's kind of baby, and Bindi Irwin does the animal shows. And I went there, and it was like her birthday, and it was incredible. Like,
Jesus
you
Christ.
really
How
hit
have you
the
not written
jackpot.
about that for the spinoff.co.nz?
I don't know. Oh, it's not good though. I won't do it.
That wombat, though.
The wombat, oh my God. Who knew that
was
wombats are
crazy.
the cutest Australian animal?
Wombats can kill people though. They have very powerful bums.
Why do you have to ruin bums?
With kindness?
They can like. I'm doing an act.
No, I
yeah.
don't believe you. That wombat
Or maybe it's
could
other
not-
animals.
What Alex is
No, but
doing
it's
does
like-
not look dangerous.
It looks like I'm dancing,
It's like
but
a
it's
real bad
actually
shuffle.
dangerous.
It's like when
Wombats can kill.
old people dancing at a wedding, bumping their bums together. That's what Alex is doing solo
But
right
it's
now.
lethal.
It's not lethal.
There's
Anyway.
no way a wombat
No, I
just
think
like
it's
tapping you
true.
with its bum.
Someone on Twitter will know.
Oh my word!
If it can't kill a person, it can kill another animal or a wombat, another wombat.
Butterfly?
Like I think they go and they bump. They, like,
Stop doing that.
they do it into a hole, and then you're in the hole.
Okay.
They're quite big.
That wombat had a sad story. It was the mother was killed or something.
Orphan
wasn't it?
wombat.
yeah.
Orphan wombat.
I feel like those two animals are real cute, and then out comes the most frightening owl in the world with like these cartoon eyes. And Fleur says, "I'm terrified of birds," which is fine. Everyone's got their fears.
Oh.
And George's like, "Okay, you're going to
know.
bash the bird." You just like
Put it right next to
smushing
her
the-
face.
Why are you doing that,
I
Jordan?
think we've established that Jordan definitely has never been scared of anything in his life, because if he had been, he would not do that to someone. He would not like make someone face their fear in that awful way on television.
It's like, what is it? What is that weird impulse?
Come on,
Because
come on, just
that's
go
how they
on.
get the drama. That's how he thinks you like make a connection. Maybe
That's
They're like, "Oh, I
terrible.
saved you from the."
Oh, I see what he's trying to do.
I threw you off a boat.
Or is it like, I fixed you?
Yeah.
You were broken.
Yeah.
I fixed you.
And if you weren't broken, I'm going to make you broken, so I can
Breaking
fix you.
us.
We haven't mentioned the koala bum. I know the koala's bum was super cute.
I did not.
Yeah, if we're talking about animal bums,
Yeah,
the koala
yeah.
had like a little bum.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Like a furry bum.
like a little bum cheeks. Anyway,
It was funny that it weighed on Kate.
did it wee on Kate?
Where was the wee stain?
I know. I don't think it weed on her. I just think it like
It's just general.
Pheromone?
wheeze all over itself or something. It's just like stinky.
They do stink.
And I've never been near a koala.
I've held one.
neither.
Did you
Did
stink?
it smell?
I
Yeah,
like
it
that
stank, it
everyone's
stank.
doing actions this podcast. It's good. And you guys
It's
are
really
missing
good.
it all.
It's great audio.
Theatre of the mind. So koalas have got, there's a thing, like what will the koala do next season? Last year it pooped on Matilda.
Well, last
This
year pooped on Matilda. Is the koala actually the orange dress?
I don't think Kate's winning this because she's
She
stunk.
keeps staying in.
Yeah, that's true. She's just going to win by default.
Yeah.
The koala has spoken. It's just no one else can decide.
Jordan did this great voiceover, but he's like, "Oh, I'm so glad everyone's just enjoying themselves. I just wanted to bring them all along. I didn't want anyone to miss out on this date. I wanted them to all just have a good time, and I'm really pleased." And it was like an amazing dad moment. Like he's actually got his kids,
Yeah.
and their mates, and taking
Yeah.
them all to the zoo. That's what it was like.
I felt, and he was really annoyed that everyone was liking the animals and not spending time with him.
Yeah. Jealous of the animals.
Yeah, he was
Weird.
furious.
Except for Storm with the wallabies.
The most macabre
Kangaroos?
moment.
Were they kangaroos or wallabies?
I think they were little kangaroos, but she said they reminded her of the wallabies.
Can you tell us the wallaby story?
I don't know her friend. Okay,
Her friend
I
ra-
have a question before we get into this.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be one of my stupid moments probably. Are there wallabies in New Zealand?
There's definitely wallabies on Cow Island.
I don't. But do they roam around like?
Because she's from Christchurch, right?
I feel like
Maybe
this is
she
something
was-
Jose would know,
This seems massive,
But
but
they're
they're not
not-
in Auckland.
Well, there's someone so.
but they're not like.
But they're not on the roads and stuff.
Hashtag TFS pod.
How did they get here?
Well, no, like we brought them here. They're not our wallabies. They're
Oh, okay.
Australian wallabies.
But there's heaps in Storm's house, apparently.
It does seem weird that they're just sort of roaming around loose to the point where her friend ran one over,
Popped it in the
freaked
boot.
out and chucked it in the boot.
It's like I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, it is.
Wallaby
She did it
edition.
to prove that she'd hit a wallaby because like she was going to get in trouble with someone for wrecking the car. So she's like, no, I didn't smash into a pole. I hit a wallaby. And if you don't believe me, check the boot.
That's so intense. Like, I feel
understand.
like the bloody bumper would tell a sad story. And I don't know, would you be... I'd rather just accept the I hit a wallaby story than make them... Like,
Bring it home.
Yeah, bring home the dead wallaby.
Is
Anyway,
it a trophy?
full on.
I don't understand.
In summary, another fantastic animal anecdote, courtesy of the Bachelor NZ. Storm packed this huge sad. She didn't want to. She didn't, like everyone was feeding the kangaroos, wallabies, whatever they were, and she was just like, "Nah, I don't want. I'm not afraid of them. I just don't like them. I've seen them all the time.
I just don't think they're cute.
I think we should shoot them." But like, if you're in that situation and Jordan obviously really stoked, everyone's having a good time, and he's being, "Look, guys, kangaroos." Wouldn't you be just go if you're not afraid of them? Go, okay, I'll feed
just
some.
do it.
Yeah, but that's where I think Jordan turned. And if he didn't have to already eliminate Kerry for not being, appropriate with her sort of emotional engagement with him, he would have kicked Storm out too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, you're gone.
He did it
You
immediately
didn't
when
like
he's
my
like,
thing.
he was like, "Okay, Fleur, come with me. Storm, you can have these," and like threw the bag of seeds. In.
Yeah, and she immediately turned around and gave them to Kate.
Yeah, it was quite good.
She's like,
You're right. That was the moment.
Yeah,
it was
it's
like,
gone.
if you're not going to feed a wallaby, you can get out. I also liked, just back to the koala, there was like a really good little bit where Jordan was hugging the koala, and then I think the koala got a bit cranky, and he said some things to the koala, and it sounded exactly like he talked to all the women. He was like, "Oh, you've had your fill. Good job." And passed the koala back to the zoo person. I thought it was funny.
Fleur got someone one time, some weird painting thing, and then they have some champagne which I want to say jizzes, but that's too late.
It was the biggest one yet.
Biggest one yet, all over the couch, and then she said, "Jesse, does it floor suck?" Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was really good. Made me like her a lot.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, a bit excited there."
Some
You just
real
can't
good pervy banter.
And then he has the forced conversation where he has to pretend. I mean, does he like? I don't know how. I feel like the only time I ever see Jordan kind of being himself a bit is with Naz, weirdly enough. And so when I hear him talking to Fleur and he's saying, "Oh, yeah, I can see us together, in real life," but it sounds like he's talking about he's hiring an assistant or something. Like it's very.
It's all work related, eh? He's like, "I'll hold the
Yeah.
flecky for you.
Yeah.
And you photography shoot it if you pay me." It's
like
just
he's-
looking for work.
It's like he started to hear himself saying, "Oh, you might be my girlfriend," and then quickly had to like throw in some jokes to like alleviate it because he actually, I still have this theory that he's kind of just they're nice enough girls and it's
Not for him.
but he just not for him. Anyway,
And the feeling's mutual from all concerned. Except
Well-
maybe Naz.
yeah.
And Fleur.
But you don't really know until you see their exit speech and it's like a big grin and no
Yeah.
tears.
Have
That's
we had any tears yet? Like in that when people get booted? Kind of early on, I feel like people cry a lot, but that's probably because they're just adjusting to the alcohol
Yeah.
intake. But no one's been like, "Oh,
I don't know.
my
My memory only goes like 2 episodes back.
Rebecca was chuffed. She's
Oh
got
yeah,
all
she was
needs.
stoked. She was stoked.
I mean, Lara was real. She was the first person who was like, genuinely, I'm very pleased to be out of this hell. This
Sarah
is
was
infantile
pleased.
rubbish, and I've got better things to do with my time.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's been just hiding roses again, like crazy behind a painting this time.
Oh, there it
What
is.
was with that painting? Was
I-
that part of the deal?
Did they was it just in the room and then he just gave it to her?
He just like doing props,
He
like
keeps
whose line is it
stealing
anyway?
things. He stole that.
Who's a
that-
thief?
He stole that chess piece, and now he's stealing paintings. Man, he's going to open up like a new first scene. The cocktail party. What was that they were playing? Was it croquet?
Yeah.
There was croquet. There was
Love
a lot of
croquet.
stuff.
And they were like in ball dresses. There were 2 pantsuits I noticed, which is I thought was
Oh yeah, Storm and Gabs.
yeah.
It's good for games.
Their dance.
Yeah. Was that to work like Rihanna work, or was it just saying work over and over again?
Well, I
with
guess
the croquet thing?
that was what they were going for, but it wasn't a dance. They're just walking.
Yeah.
That's literally all they were doing, and swinging their mallets. They mallets?
They're
I
mallet.
guess so.
That was bizarre. Anyway, they're having a good time. That worst game of Connect 4 ever. He's terrible at Connect 4.
Is he?
He's really bad at Connect 4.
How can you be bad at...
They only used 7 pieces and he lost.
Yeah, that's real bad. You almost have to work to lose in 7.
That's annoying.
That's all right. Do you want to go sort of meet me and Alex? Or no, we can't do that.
Going.
Okay, do you
gonna be a
remember what
disaster.
happened?
Well, it's just the rose ceremony, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm honest, go on, Jane. You're right. Go look after your children.
Have the baby.
We'll
keep this afloat.
Can I be honest? You know, last week I watched the show through a post-sleeping pill kind of haze.
Yeah.
This week I was literally asleep for large parts of the second part of the first
That's
episode.
good.
So I missed the dance and a lot of what you're talking about. I've just got sort of little
Just waking up and
fragments.
seeing
Yeah, I was
vignettes.
just nodding out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Do you recommend it?
when it was stressful because I felt like I was missing important things, but then there was nothing I saw during my brief periods of wakefulness
No.
that I felt was important.
I'm just looking here. I just don't know. Kate, back to the Connect. Did you see the Connect 4? I can't.
I knew that there was was it like a big thing of Connect
It was a big
4?
thing. It
Yeah,
was
I
like-
feel like I saw that it was
They
there,
had
but I
like
didn't see the
joke
game.
size Connect 4 and Big Jenga, which is where Naz.
Didn't see that.
So Naz played Big Jenga with Jordan. He was they had like a very seemingly sexual exchange where she was like, "What do I get if I win?" And then he's like, "And what do you have to offer me?" And it was just like, come on, guys. I don't know. It seems very clear that that's kind of where they're going. Like, I don't know.
It's a dirty banter.
Yeah. Naz, I think, toppled the Jenga. This is a disaster.
Yeah, Jane, come back.
She's back.
Sorry, guys.
How'd you go?
It was
No
really
good,
bad.
no
I
good.
started talking about Jenga for ages.
Sexy Jenga.
We got up to when Naz said she's going to do a private dance. I've written down here. I don't know if that was during Jenga or...
I thought
When they all-
wasn't she referring to the? Oh no, yeah, she did say something about the private dance.
Oh, it's because they asked them to do a showcase of
the dance.
Storm and Naz, and they got too shy.
And then she said, "I'll do a private dance." And then he said something like, "You've got to pay
You
for
gotta
that
pay
or
for
something."
that, yeah.
So I slept through the whole thing, and it sounded like it got real racy.
It was there was just a really raunchy 10 minutes, but it was all in Innuendo City.
Damn it.
Then there was a rose ceremony, and Kerry went home.
And she was popping bottles. She was so happy.
She was stoked. She was like, I don't even know what to say to you. She just wants to leave.
Yeah.
And she did on Twitter, even before the episode aired, post a gif of a dude having a really good, happy celebration. And she was like, "This is me about tonight's episode. I'm so stoked."
Yeah.
She's out of there. Happy about it.
Happy for you, Kerry.
Tuesday night's episode marked the return of the stripy singlet and the floral boardies. And we're in
they made it back.
They made it
Back to Waitangi.
Yep, we're in the Bay of Islands, and it's a single date for Naz, poet, the Persian poet,
Punching
punching
Persian
PPP.
poet.
punching poet from Persia, Persian punching,
They went for a
It's all
walk up
good.
a hill.
all good things. They went for a walk up the hill, looked out at the view, and he said he really enjoyed spending time with her and a view with no distraction of animals.
Yeah, that was just
over
the
it,
most
eh?
pointed comment.
He's so mad about the wombat, the koala.
They just distracted the woman from him,
Yeah.
the ruler of the animal kingdom.
Or is he talking about the dogs from last week? He was distracted by the dog that he was in love with.
Oh my gosh,
And the horse.
that dog! I feel like
It's
that.
actually been a very animal heavy
Very,
season, I reckon.
very.
Water and animals are the motifs.
We have a question to ask of you guys, if you are experts, particularly in swimwear. Naz was wearing some bikini bottoms that Duncan thought were a G-string, and Alex and I decided were definitely not a G-string. But they were somewhere between a normal bikini brief and a G-string.
There
Do
was,
they have
there was
a
a lot of
special name?
bum.
It's cheeky. I feel like it does have a name. Is it like a Brazilian cut? I feel like that's like
maybe it is.
on those those beaches people go to.
Someone knows, and someone can tell us using the hashtag TFSPod
Yeah.
on Twitter. Thanks very much. I just keep looking at her bum, basically. Her bum and her boobs.
I was very surprised they were contained.
I don't think
It
that.
didn't
Yeah.
seem like they should be.
They were fighting hard to escape.
But anyway, some real chemistry going on between those two. Just to use a well-used term that's trotted out so often on The Bachelor.
They had a big pash in the ocean.
Yep.
And then kind of disappeared
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for a moment in
Got
time.
dragged under by a sea monster who's just heartily sick of the show.
Also,
Can't blame him.
it was freezing, right? They came out of the water and they were like
They were so
chattering.
It's because the thing is, it's been a very hot summer. They were in the winterless north at least 2 months ago. How is it always unseasonably, horrifyingly cold wherever they are? Always
know.
raining, always cold.
Sometimes though the water can be cold even if it's hot out.
No, not up north. It's still like I swam like 2 weeks ago. It's lovely.
Okay. He gives her a shell ring
Yep.
and a flex rose
Yep.
and then a real rose. It's all quite special, isn't it? It seems like a lot of
she
extra
got a lot
special
of
treatment.
gifts.
She did.
Like quite big gifts, but
You didn't steal these.
gifts nonetheless.
Gifts nonetheless. I feel like they have a proper... I feel like she's the only person he has an
It's
actual
amazing,
proper
eh?
connection with.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Back at the start, Naz is like, she's just changed.
I just thought she was a plant there to cause trouble and then...
It's crazy. It's so crazy if you think about the Naz that came in, who was just chaos machine. She had the hit list. She was just saying all. She would go up to him and just be like, "This girl's been saying the bad thing about you." Just like that was her only line. She'd use it constantly, and now she's probably going to win. It's mad.
It's so
But is it
good
because
though.
she's playing the game? Like she's
Nah.
playing it like it is? No, but that rose thing, that was a bit of a... it was weird.
No, it's just
It
a
doesn't
prank.
really do
it's just a silly
anything.
prank.
But I feel like it's still a mind game.
Yeah, well, she's got me.
kind.
I'm convinced. I think I really want her to win now because I just think that them as a celebrity couple,
Oh my
he's
God.
got probably not a lot of exciting women's magazine stuff going for him, but him with her, that's
Amazing.
she instantly makes them a power couple.
And she's dorky,
Yeah,
which,
she's dorky. She likes adventure. She's the
a landscaper.
landscaper. All the things.
If they have... It's finished, right? They would have
finished.
decided who... Yeah,
Yeah.
because Naz's Instagram, she's doing... It might even be Snapchat. She's doing incredibly upbeat, really happy videos very early in the morning of her going to a landscaping job. And I was like, that seems like someone who is
Happy with
in
life.
love, who has won a television show. Otherwise, she just loves landscaping, which I understand as well, because she cannot stop going on about it.
She's definitely an instant celebrity out the back of this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
she's, I guess, like the crystal.
She's the kind of the Crystal and the Danny rolled into
all
one.
in one, yeah.
But also because there just aren't any others.
Yeah,
It's true.
She's everything. She'd be on Dancing with the Stars, R.I.P. in a heartbeat, though, right? Like,
I
Megan.
can't believe we podcasted a whole season.
That's
of Dancing with
unbelievable.
the
What do we do?
Unbelievable.
How did we manage?
I don't know if that makes us amazing or
hours.
terrible. I think it makes us terrible. Anyway,
Talking about dancing?
We're really well qualified. Know a lot about dancing. I saw your thumb move.
Wombat.
The wombat.
let's go on a group date, guys. Let's go on a group date. Let's go kayaking with Gabby, Fleur, and Kate. At the beginning of this date, they were sitting around, and Gab says, "Let's pack our date bags." What is in a date bag?
Togs?
Yeah, kayak paddle,
Not any kind of toilet.
dry shampoo.
That's all.
Oh man. Okay, so Kate did a wee in the water. They're kayaking and Kate jumps out and she does a wee in the water. Do you know what I would do? I'd pretend to have fallen in. I'd do my wee and also probably have the bonus of my potential husband-to-be come over and rescue me.
Into the water.
Yeah, into the water. It's really warm around here.
He doesn't need
Old
to
mate,
know.
Kate.
Doesn't need to know, does
No,
he?
the localised warmth.
There's always the risk he could know. I wouldn't take that risk.
But she would just be far enough away that by the time you've done your wee, by the time he gets to you, you've done your wee and you've moved away from the warmth of it.
Don't you find when like people are looking at you, you're talking when you're trying to do a wee in the water, it gets difficult? Because I can't do that, so I have to make a funny face like.
Well, she could have been pretending to
Because you
drown
could
or
see her
anything.
doing the funny face, like so she's definitely part of that camp.
Okay, Duncan, if you are on a group date with 3 fine hotties and one of them announces to the world they're just doing a wee
Yeah.
and you're already pretty much just mates, does that endear them to you any more in a romantic and intimate way?
It makes no difference.
No difference.
Maybe it even endears them more.
If I just was like, I'm doing a wee right now.
It's fine. Like, I just don't want any kind of dry balls around. It was like, oh, I couldn't possibly go for a wee in front of a man.
No,
you
that's
know?
fine. I don't have an issue with that. I just don't think it's like...
It's neutral.
gamble.
It's fine.
It's
not
a, no, I think
No, it
it's
was
a
a
gamble.
gamble.
It was definitely a
It was a
gamble.
gamble.
Well, like, she's like, it was a calculated thing. Like, I'm just going to be crazy old Kate and go
Okay,
for a
like,
wee.
I think she was saving the way.
It's like, that's in my date bag. So heaps of warts.
Duncan, if you ever find yourself in a situation, which I'm sure won't happen, where you are trying to win the affection of a woman, please don't just go for a wee on like your third date in order,
I'm not, I mean, all
and,
right.
then announce it to everyone.
Okay, thanks for the tip.
It's a pro tip right there. She then starts a water fight.
Imagine if there was a Bachelor for like quite old divorcee father of 3s by 2 different women. Like that would be a great show that people would definitely watch.
I'm sure there is a show in the States somewhere.
Deep in the cable universe.
Kate starts a water fight. I'd be like, eee, Kate's dirty wee water flying at you.
Immediately.
And then Jordan,
I loved how Jordan was like, that's one way to go to the bathroom.
oh, yeah.
What was he thinking?
How many ways?
I can standing on top of the kayak just spinning around in circles. That's the Jordan technique.
Yeah.
I think he was lost for words. Doesn't happen often.
He was not impressed, though.
He was not impressed.
He was not impressed with the
In
toilet
fact, he
break.
made her try and have a shower under a waterfall. He was so disgusted.
Which is actually a disaster, because there's one place to pee and get away with it.
If she'd known, surely she would have saved it for the waterfall.
No one's getting you there.
It was a waterfall that he kind of...
Yeah.
I think he thought he knew something about waterfalls and that you could go behind them, and then he kayaked up to it and basically hit a rock face and then tried to make a joke out of it like, oh, you guys all have to give it a go now as well. And so they all did, and it was a mental thing to do.
Maybe
not
dangerous.
Same dangerous. They all had a really good time, though, right?
Yeah.
Jordan came out looking like a Jim Carrey character.
Because he had a side part or something.
Such an amazing band. Was it like the one for? Is it Liar
I think
Liar? The
it's-
one where he's got a centre part?
I was
or
thinking
was it Dumb
like
and
Dumb and
Dumber?
Dumber.
Dumb and
Yeah.
Dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool,
Sexy.
attractive thing. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so that was all fun, good times. Was there one-on-one time? Oh yeah, Gabby in her tasseled cardigan thing.
Oh, yeah, you were disgusted with
I was
that.
quite disgusted with it. I'm sorry. I know that like most, if not all, the people on the cast of this show listen to this podcast, and so I feel bad about dissing
They're
out
not choosing
a
their
cardigan.
clothes.
Yeah, they
Cardigans
are.
they are.
Like they were dressing as crazy princesses.
No,
one
that's at the
brings-
cocktail
That's Glamour
party.
Boutique. Glamour Boutique doesn't.
That's cocktail party. They
I
don't,
don't understand.
Anyway, I just think. I mean, I'm no fashionista, so perhaps that's high fashion, and I'm just completely on the outer. So take this with a grain of salt. But I was not into the cardigan. Okay.
It also just suggested again, very cold. It's like a very thick kind of abominable snowman kind of cardigan. It's just summer. It's just beachy.
Hey, no dirty shoes on this one time. There was some dirty feet. We noticed some dirty feet.
On Gabs.
Gabs and on George's.
Gabs was worse though. I wonder.
Gab, they were worse. Yeah. Her feet were dirtier.
I don't know. But
What does it all mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
This is really good though. The cocktail party. The cocktail party location was the Waitangi homestead.
Yeah.
So
We couldn't believe it for a few minutes.
But first we were just like, oh yeah, regular kind of lawn and kind of, I don't know, like rural country house type thing. And then I was like, hang on, I think I've been there before. Hang on, they're in the Bay of Islands. Hang on, is that?
Surely
Why-
it cannot be the most
Yeah, that's the
sacred
thing. I was like,
place in
surely
New
not.
Zealand.
No. And
how
Jose
does-
was like, yeah, pretty sure it is.
how does that come about? Like, is it just...
And how does it not get introduced at all? Like, it's just they happen to be there. They never explained it until at the end.
Right at the end, when Mike comes in and is like, "Oh, welcome, this is a very special and sacred place, and, you know, we're very lucky to be invited here." It's like, say that at the beginning. Like,
Before Kate weed everywhere.
Did that happen? You're just assuming she's a
Well, she
wee
had wee on
monster.
her top.
this is the problem,
She had
Duncan. This is my
wee
point.
in
Is
the
once you start weeing places and announcing it in public, people think of you as the wee girl. Okay? And that's what Kate's done. And he doesn't want to be doing a woman's... It's a bit like Poppy and the Fat.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Poppy and the Fat.
Except Kate's was like planned. It was like aggressively planned.
I don't know if that's necessarily something you can say definitively, that it was aggressively planned.
But it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't like, oh, I weed by
She
accident
had
in
to
my
go for a
kayak.
wee in the middle of the ocean. It was either in the kayak or in the water.
In the
I
kayak,
just
just
feel
on the
like you
kayak.
could, if you really wanted to, you could have held it till after, right?
Oh, gosh, you guys are
So I'm saying
fixated on
she's
the
no,
wee.
but I'm saying she planned to get out and wee and make it like a funny joke, and I am not judging that. I think it's hilarious, but it was different to Poppy's uncontrollable.
Laxative induced.
Yeah,
Okay, anyway, so they're at Waitangi and they're basically shooting a cheesy reality TV
Yeah, well,
show.
what's the verdict
in very
on that?
Sacred ground.
Well, how do we feel?
Quick
Quick round circle,
I
Alex.
mean, I think about have I seen Waitangi kind of represented in primetime anywhere else? Not really. No other reality franchises have gone there. We haven't had X Factor or anything. I think it's probably quite bad, but if they said they could come, maybe it's fine.
I don't know. I'm not normally fussy about this kind of stuff, but I felt it was a bit yuck.
Yeah, there was something just looking at it and knowing. And it's weird because there's part of me that's like, well, how would you have felt if it was season one? It's fine. Hart and his woman can go anywhere, you know? But it's just because there's such a bedraggled season, I feel particularly strongly that it just doesn't seem like an appropriate thing to do with this kind of almost sacred place.
What they should have done is had like the dates actually going through like the historical stuff, right? Like surely
Yeah.
that's how you do it.
That's what I
You
would have
go
thought.
through the house and you
Rather
look at the mannequins
Rather
and
than the
whatnot.
cocktail party where they clearly look it up.
Yeah, some acknowledgement early on because they just didn't even talk about anything. You know,
Well, they
if someone
didn't-
from overseas is watching that, they'd be like, "Oh, it's a nice lawn. It's all good."
Yeah, it's a funny little house compared to the flash ones and all that. You know, obviously
Yeah.
budget's tight. No, it was this really important house for New Zealand history. It did seem weird, the fact that it wasn't flagged at all. Anyway, it's fine.
Anyway, something major happened at this cocktail party. Storm had some time with Geordie and told him that she felt like pretty uncomfortable about the idea of bringing him home to meet her family after they've only been on 2 dates. Storm's just realised that this is a ridiculous scenario to try and find someone like a forever love.
Well, I don't think it is. You
And
know,
it
like-
happens like 1 in every 6 in the US as well.
Well, but the main thing is like last season by this stage, it felt like he did have serious and meaningful connections with all of them, and you know it was just a sort of they were at different stages or something. This one is just like they're just kind of hanging out. It feels like there's almost like a resentment or there's some weird thing there to the point where I'm with Storm. Like I'd feel real odd about like involving my parents in this charade. And
Yeah,
Nice
she
for
did
everyone
seem
to get on
to-
camera and you're like, "Here's a guy I met."
She did seem to really like him. She did seem to really like him though.
Early
And-
on.
Yeah, and that's really, I don't know.
But it's changed. I think by the end she was like it was another relief ejection.
Right. My gosh, that's all they've been.
Yeah.
I know.
Someone said, we don't exactly pick who it was, maybe Gabs, said, tell us the bees, the knees. When
What
Storm
is
had
that?
had her chat with Jordan. Tell us the bees, the knees. It's not...
No,
That's not what the bee's knees is, and that's not how you say the bee's knees. And
it's
that's
cool
not-
though.
I like it, but
Plus the bees and the knees.
I love how last year Crystal just got every quote, wrong all the
That's
time.
right. It's a meme.
There hasn't been enough of that, so that was nice. I like that. Everyone was a bit trolleyed, as we've sort of alluded to. We think.
Yeah, it was
Right.
cool because everyone was talking like really abstractly. Gab said that crazy thing about being in the Garden of Eden.
Gav said it's like the Garden of Eden back here. I'm struggling to stay afloat. What does that mean?
It's just
That
the
is
bees and the
true.
knees.
If anyone has the bees and the knees on that situation, just get onto Twitter and let us know. #TFSpod, thanks. Right, okay. Then we had the rose ceremony, and good old Naz brought out her flax rose. Not the real rose, just a flax rose. Didn't tell the girls that she got a real rose when she was on her single date. And so come rose ceremony time, and they're all looking through, beer goggles, and they're freaking out because there's
How many roses?
Fleur could not believe it. She was swearing so much the entire time.
She was absolutely freaking out. She could only see 4 roses. In fact, it was hidden right next to everyone in plain view, just behind some lanterns. So
Classic Naz.
We all basically completely lost the plot when it was down to Storm and Fleur in the bottom 2. Because for a while now, we, and especially me, have been saying that Storm and Fleur were going to be the top 2.
And Rebecca.
Rebecca
Yeah,
was,
Whoever else has gone.
And Kerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the top 4 plus Fleur.
So Fleur's... Well, now there's Naz.
No, Naz is coming up hard.
Naz is definitely coming up hard.
Naz could win. Right?
Well, I hope
Fleur,
so.
I was really for Fleur up until that chattering, freezing cold water date that they had. And
I
it seemed
I thought Fleur had this in the bag until actually they had that one-on-one time with the weird kangaroo painting and the way he was talking to her about their future together. Even though he was saying all the right things, it wasn't sounding remotely like he was feeling them. Like
Maybe
he
he's
wasn't
just working
saying,
her up as
I really
runner-up.
like, he didn't actually say, I really like you. This is amazing. I've never felt this connection with anyone before. He
This
just sort
is
of
so
says,
hard, but I really like... Yeah, totally.
he says stuff like, I can see us doing things on the weekend sometime. Maybe I can hold your flicky board. And
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Bizarre. Anyway, Storm went home.
Boom.
Boom.
shocker. But
She didn't like
she'd be a
kangaroos.
cool bachelorette.
She would be a cool bachelorette.
So fingers crossed.
Which-
We've got a bunch of different cool bachelorettes. We've got Danny,
It's
we've got
true.
Crystal.
Yeah, but okay, Danny's not a bachelorette. She's hooked up, right?
Well, she's
And she's in London.
And she's in London.
Yeah, you should see her apartment.
24 hours and a breakup and she's home. It's fine. Hot tradie. I don't know about hot tradie as a life partner.
Is Crystal looking for love, or is she just riding the wave? Storm's looking for love. You need someone who's looking for love. Jordan was not looking for love, and therein lies the problem with this season, okay? So this is my epiphany that I had. We hopefully will never have to worry again about a kind of mediocre bachelor or bachelorette, because if they do the right thing and pick previous contestants, then
Yes.
they're picking people who are familiar with the format, who are probably relaxed on camera by now, and also who are looking for love, right? They're not just there because Art got lucky. He was there to promote his paleo brand, and he just ended up with Matilda because she's amazing. I don't know what Jordan's trying to do, promote his personal brand of
Something.
second ADing.
And his
Cars.
charitable foundation.
Geordie Porty.
geordieporty.co.nz. Oh, God.
But I think someone said to him, hey, Jordan, you're a good looking guy. You've got some interesting things going on in your life. What would you like to be the Bachelor? And he was sort of like, why not?
Well, he's a freelancer. He probably had a bit of
Yeah.
a hole in his shed.
Exactly. And he's, but you need someone who's passionately looking for love. And
Yeah.
hopefully that's what's going to
Yeah.
happen
Well, I
from
think
here on
the
in.
problem is that the show is playing in the same time, and on the same channel as Married at First Sight, where they're definitely looking for
Yes.
love, and it's so intense and so real, and such a great example of what can be done with this format in a way that's not cheesy and full of chimes. And not that The Bachelor can't be awesome as a show, like obviously it was last season, but I feel like, because you're watching that, right,
Yes.
Jane? The contrast between Married at First Sight, which is freaking riveting
Yeah.
television, and The Bachelor, where you just kind of hurry it along, this is silly, it's just, I find it really stark and hard to deal with.
Yeah, Married at First Sight is incredible.
Is it because it's a smaller sample size? Or something?
It's a
Like,
totally
'cause they only
different.
take-
It's a totally different format, but it's real. It's real. Like it's documenting what's happening rather than trying to force
Well, we had
slash script
didn't someone have
situations.
the idea once a week, like The Bachelor marries all of them and then gets a divorce each week.
That's amazing.
Did I have a dream about that?
No, we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
It's probably my terrible idea. I'm sorry for bringing it up.
I feel like we could come up with all sorts of great shows that aren't The Bachelor, but I don't know. I'm a batch head. I always love it. Okay, so that's it for the shows this week. What have you got, Casey?
What have I got? I had some social media news. This is not really social media. It's more kind of weird kind of stalking
That's fine.
news. Someone sent me a Facebook message and it was a blurry photo from like behind their steering wheel of Crystal and Shivani crossing the road. And I got all this intel. Apparently they've been at the supermarket in Eastridge.
Whoa, what's going on?
Another Eastridge sighting. This is
Oh, who
huge.
did we see in Eastridge?
Kerry, that was
Kerry.
Kerry last week got the photo with my niece. And you were like, I've never heard of Eastridge. Well, now you know.
And that's also
Nice.
one of the least populous supermarkets going around, I reckon. It's hanging by a thread. Maybe it's only kept alive by bachelorettes. I want to go out there.
Well, apparently they had a shopping bag and in it there were chips and bread and Marmite. So that
Yum.
made chip sandwiches.
Chip sandwiches.
That's just cool. That was all. That was my goss.
That's great, guys.
I've got. Is it it's bad to take photos of people? Hey, when they're just walking around.
Nah.
I think it's fine. They're fair game.
Yeah.
We're journos.
And that's journalism. Gabs went to Medicana with Steve Broad.
Okay, what the... Stop it.
Steve-
Stop
Get
it,
away.
stop it, stop
He's
it.
He's like a zombie.
Hang on, is he Christchurch?
Invercargill.
Close enough. So
Yeah.
maybe they just know each other. Maybe they're
Gabs
related.
is not from there.
Where's she from?
She's
from-
Oh, no, she's from up
north.
north.
We're-
They
we're-
could not be further apart.
So yeah, and this is curious to me because Steve Broad, oh, excuse me, was also in the background of Danny's. I sound bad now, eh? Danny's leaving drinks, and they had like, ooh, doing shots. It was like her and Crystal and everyone. And in the background, you see Steve Broad going, "Yes, cheers!" Like, and he's there. So I don't know. There's a lot of crossover between season 1 and season 2 Bachelorettes. I'm noticing like Claudia was hanging out with somebody, and I wonder like, is it like Eastridge? Like they go and meet at the supermarket and exchange details?
Well,
about
not
what
anymore
parties
now
they're
that we've
gonna go to.
exposed it.
Well, it's strange. I haven't heard of it before now.
We should do the live podcast finale at Eastridge. We're a bit cold and drafty on a Tuesday night. I think it's late night over there, but you know,
Special guest Steve Broad.
he's there full time.
He would be there.
Well,
But
but
yeah,
what-
is it? What is it? Is
What's
it a
going on
red
with Steve
herring?
Broad? What's going on with Steve
I
Broad?
reckon he's hunting
'Cause
down
he's hot,
badges.
his hot teacher. He came from school. What is he doing now? What's his
Oh my God,
job?
Steve Broad Bachelor. Why didn't that happen?
That's weird.
Right?
But he's not supposed to be a celebrity, isn't that the point? Like that
No,
he's
but
almost.
He's pretty much not really a celebrity.
He's been on every single New Zealand reality show every season.
I
Like,
still guarantee about 96% of people listening have no idea who we're talking about.
shame on you. Educate yourselves. Steve Broad.
Anything else?
No.
Scout.co.nz?
Shari, I think on her drive up to Auckland for her big move, seemingly ripped out like her key, the ignition. She pulled it out and the whole ignition fell out of her car.
Okay.
And she was like, moved to Auckland, they said, or something. And
Okay.
I was like,
What
this is
actually
comedy.
happened
He's
there?
the best.
Is she stole a car
Oh, yeah.
and she ripped out the ignition and she's just trying to convince you all that happened by accident.
I'm worried about her.
Shari's this season's batch hero to this point, I reckon.
Oh.
I love her persona.
I did not see her toppling from that spot.
She's owning
She's
it.
owning
It's
it.
cool.
No.
It's all hers. Okay, so now my call is Naz wins. That's my call.
Me too.
Oh, man. I'm going to say Fleur just to be different.
Boring. Flu's nice, but, you know, it's just...
No, it's Naz. It's Naz. Why
The
not?
only way you can spice up this whole sorry mess is if you have Naz winning.
The taste of Persia.
Yeah, it's true.
You're
probably
headlines
right.
now.
You're
The
probably
punching
right.
Persian poet wins a major babe's heart.
Oh, let's end it there.
Right, that's us then. Don't forget our hashtag is TFSPod. We'd love to hear from you on Twitter. And thanks very much to thespinoff.co.nz and, of course, to Lightbox. See you guys next week.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, Senior Writer at The Spinoff. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, Podcast Manager at The Spinoff. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spinoff member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spinoff Podcast Network.